All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-03248 and 22-03250. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Mark Mitchell. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Prados on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Mitchell.
Sir, you are Mark Mitchell?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes, I can, Your Honor. Good morning.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a final pretrial in the matter. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the people would be asking for an adjournment in this matter. As I'm sure Your Honor is aware, Mr. Mitchell has several cases spread all over the county, including one that is set for preliminary exam today down in 55th District Court on an armed robbery charge. And the people were attempting to do a global resolution for all of Mr. Mitchell's files when he picked up this new charge. So like I said, the people just asked for a brief adjournment in order for the preliminary exam in this matter to run so that the people can continue to attempt to work out a global resolution in this matter.
And Ms. Robinson, your position?
That's fine.
All right. It's at 70 right now? 85. How about 2 weeks? Would that work?
I'd probably say 30 days, Judge, just to be safe. I mean, I get that the
Way
case is running,
over.
but I mean, it's gonna get bound up to circuit and then, that's gonna take a few.
How
weeks.
many cases are we talking about? This is the 2 of the 3?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
All right,
Quite a few.
that answers my question.
Yeah.
7 total.
All right, so, okay. So adjourn. As close to 30 as we can get it without. Adjourn for global resolution. Multiple files. Yeah, and we'll get as close to 30 days. So June 6th at 8:30. And then we should probably know the status of at least some of the other files. All right, so we've adjourned this to June 6th at 8:30. Mr. Mitchell, please keep in contact with your attorney, Aaron Robinson. Anything else for the record in docket 22-03248 or 50, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people. Your
Ms.
Honor.
Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today. And on the record. So we're on the record in docket 20-01888 and 23-00892. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Aliyah Helen Mervine. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Mervine.
And ma'am, you are Aliyah Mervine? Ma'am, you are Elia Mervine?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. This is the time set for a forensic review and 2 final pre-trials. It's my understanding that there is a forensic review out on or currently being looked at on a felony file set for June 16th. And these cases, of course, are pending that review. So it would be the court's anticipation to place this on that June 16th date along with preliminary examinations.
Actually, we moved to June 15th.
All right, so that's right, June 15th at 8:30. Is any comment on that or any objection to that plan, Mr. Brodowitz?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Robinson?
No objection.
All right. The nature of it, we're gonna reset this for June 15th at 8:30 to coincide with the felony forensic review. Ms. Mervine, if you have any questions, please keep in contact with your attorney, Ms. Robinson. We've reset this for June 15th at 8:30 to coincide with the preliminary examination and another forensic review. All right, ma'am?
Okay.
All right. Anything else for the record on either of these files, 20-01888 or 23-00892, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you're all set, ma'am. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
It's all, good there, wrong. Straight should be all dialed in. Sure. All right.
Sir, on the Motorola cell phone, would you please identify yourself?
Hey, I'm sorry. My name is Denise Hauser.
Say it again, ma'am.
My name is Denise Hauser.
Denise Hauser. Miss Hauser, you're here for your 9 o'clock? And Miss Hauser, you're here for your 9 o'clock? Miss Hauser, you're here for your 9 o'clock?
Suffering from sinus congestion, especially at night? Try Vicks Sinex for instant relief that lasts up to 12 hours. Vicks Sinex targets congestion at the source, relieving nasal congestion.
Oh, let's see.
Oh,
And on Asante's iPhone, could you please identify yourself?
Asante Parker.
All right, Mr. Parker, you're here for your 9 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
All right, stand by. And we'll call your case in a second.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 23-01201. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Darian Blackman. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Blackman.
Sir, you are Darian Blackman?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the time set for a final pretrial today. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, as you stated, today's the date time set for final pretrial. People have subpoenaed witnesses. I have called the hallway in the courtroom. Those witnesses have not appeared today. So people would be unable to proceed, so I would leave it to the defense.
Ms. Robinson.
You'd make a motion to dismiss, Judge.
Thank you. The court will dismiss without prejudice based on the people's inability to go forward today. So, Mr. Blackman, that means if the people choose, they could reissue if they choose to, but for our purpose today, the case is dismissed. All right, sir? All right. And I'm signing that nollie pros right now. Anything else for the record in docket 23-01201, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people.
Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Mr. Blackman, you're all set. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes,
did you get the nollie on Ms. Dottie's?
I did.
Okay,
I signed some nollies. So who is that?
that was the 9 a.m. dog at large.
Okay. It's already up. It's good.
Okay.
How about who's?
After this one, you have one more on Thursday. On the 8 a.m.
And then one on 26.
There, we're done. Never done, done.
Good.
No, I haven't, man. I'm going to.
Okay. Yeah, this is the somewhere in the office.
Looking for it?
But I'll let my lawyer.
Yeah, I'm looking for that.
Right. Yeah.
So sorry, Your Honor. That's my
Join, put room on, so I just put join.
Yep.
Where it's just push join.
Just push one.
Join, okay.
If you can have a car show, you know, people show up, and we can have several car shows a year where people show up. That's a beautiful thing.
How do I mute this? Do you somehow? Huh? Do you know how I mute this?
On the Samsung cell phone, could you identify yourself? It's just, we're just looking at a fan right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
What's your name, ma'am?
Sonia Villanueva.
All right, you're here for your 9:30?
Yes, I guess. I thought it was
All right,
9. I'm sorry.
Mr. Turbin, you're also here for your 9 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
All right. Stand by, you're all in the right place. The attorneys are meeting with their clients in some breakout rooms, and then we'll call your case, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's about apps. I mean, we all have apps on our phone that we just don't use anymore. What's wrong with uninstalled apps? I don't have those apps. You haven't been talking to me on them, so why have they been installed and why are they on your account? All right, now you're trying to be the biggest. I ask you about it.
Should have left the phone screen. Right now? Yeah, bottom left of the screen there. Yeah, around this way. Right that way.
Mr. Parker, we're gonna place you in a breakout room with your public defender, okay?
You can just touch it, right? Oh, I can touch it. It was touch it.
It's got a smooth game. Smooth game or something. I've searched for the answer to that very question.
And just for the record, I would have had to rehire you in order to fire you again, which I didn't do because I don't normally hire people.
Please just don't send me back to the K-9 unit. And no, that is not a figure of speech.
Why do you want?
Ms. Hauser, we can hear you in the courtroom. That's why we keep muting you.
Because he knows I had to pick it up. Okay. So I was going to go do laundry that day, and I start picking out clothes, and I find this bra. You were pretty sure that wasn't yours. Yes. And you found it in your bedroom.
Mr. Smith, you may want to mute yourself. The courtroom can hear you or your room.
Just send me back.
It sent you back. Yep. So hold on and wait.
Ms. Sutter, are you ready on Mr. Parker? Once we have a prosecutor, we'll proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Or if I can maybe talk to a couple other people while we're waiting.
Sure.
Mr. Smith.
All right, so I'm gonna have Mr. Smith and Ms. Sutter placed in the breakout room.
Thank you.
So Lauren, you should be able to go back to room 2.
Yep. Thank you.
Ms. Sutter, did you want to meet with anybody else? We're still waiting on our prosecutor.
Yes, please. May I speak with Ms. Hauser?
Sure. So I'll, Ms. Hauser, we're going to place you in a breakout room with your public defender, Ms. Sutter.
Hello?
Ms. Hauser, you should get a prompt to join the breakout room with your public defender. Ms. Hauser, can you hear me?
Today, 11:10 Central.
Ms. Hauser, can you hear me? Ms. Hauser, you may want to take off your headphones.
Take off your headphones.
I can't.
Ms. Hauser? Ms. Hauser,
Your headphones. Your
you might
headphones.
want to take off your. Ms. Hauser, can you hear me? Ms. Hauser, can you hear me?
And I have COPD. My children are really worried.
Wait, Ms. Hauser, you need to join room 2 with your public defender. Ms. Hauser, can you hear me?
Yes.
Ms. Hauser, say your name, please.
Denise Gundula Hauser.
All right, Ms. Hauser, we're having trouble communicating with you. I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Ms. Sutter. You may want to cancel your video. Something's interrupting you. But we're going to place you in a breakout room to room 2 with the Ms. Sutter. You should get a prompt to join room 2.
Okay. Thank you. 58 yards. We factor in the wind and elevation change.
Ms. Sutter, we're going to put you in room 3 with Ms. Hauser.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. McKissick, we're ready on your file. You can unmute yourself.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. All right, we're on the record in docket 20-02378. That's people, the state of Michigan versus Anthony McKissick. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record.
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. McKissick.
And sir, you are Anthony McKissick?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor, I
All
am.
right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, as you stated, today's the date and time set for pretrial. Mr. McKissick does have another matter, a felony matter in front of this court that is set for preliminary examination. I can't remember if it's on May 25th or May 26th. But we have made an offer that if he were to accept the people's offer of drug court in that felony file, that the people would then dismiss this case. So with that, I would leave it to the defense.
Ms. Robinson, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, that's fine. We can either set it for a final pretrial on the same date or after the date, doesn't matter.
Let's set it for final pretrial on
June 6th.
So we'll set it for final pre-trial on June 6th at 8:30.
Then I would also request that that be over Zoom. He's currently at Bear River, so.
All right. What's that?
Oh, the other one too over here.
Yeah. So I don't mind him staying at Bear River. He's got to get his fingerprints done when he gets back. So, all right, fingerprints.
I think he comes to Lansing like that week or the week after in June, so it shouldn't be an issue getting them done.
All right. All right, so Mr. McKissick, you're set for June. We've set this for final pretrial on June 6th at 8:30. You can attend by Zoom, and you do have some outstanding. We have to get your fingerprints at some point, but we'll do that once you come back. All right, sir?
Yeah, all right. Yes, Your Honor. Which one is?
All right. So please keep in contact with your attorney, Aaron Robinson. We've set this for June 6th at 8:30. Anything else, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Robinson?
Nope. You're all set.
All right. Mr. McKissick, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Yes, I have another court date, and I'm supposed to appear in person on the 26th. Is there any way I can do that one on Zoom also?
I think that's a prelim. Yeah, so you're gonna have to be here for a prelim.
Contact your attorney, okay? Do you have his phone number?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah, talk to him.
Okay, yep, give him a call and he'll talk to you about it, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Will probably happen. This is cheese today.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
In fact, again, yeah. Good job, man. You did really good.
Ms. Villanueva, we'll call your case. So we're on the record in docket 23-01137. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Sonia Villanueva. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Villanueva.
And ma'am, you are Sonia Villanueva, and you'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay,
There
that
you go.
better? Good morning.
That is you.
Yes,
You
I
are
am
Sonia Villanueva.
I
All
am.
right. And you can hear me all right, ma'am?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial today. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, the people have made an offer that if Ms. Villanueva were to provide the license for the dog in question, I believe that dog's name is Boss, that the people would dismiss for compliance.
Ms. Robinson, how are we proceeding today?
Yes, Your Honor, that is the case. So we would like to set this at least 30 days out for compliance.
So date for compliance? June 13th at 9. So we've set this matter out for compliance issues for June 13th at 9 o'clock. All right, Ms. Villanueva. Make sure you
That's
keep in
perfect.
contact with your attorney, Erin Robinson, and make sure she has any paperwork she needs in order for that pretrial. Anything
Okay.
else for the record in docket 23-01137, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Ms. Villanueva, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today. It's set for June 13th at 9 a.m.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. Does that mean I leave?
Yes, you're free to leave the Zoom courtroom.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Erin.
We'll see ya. Ms. Enright, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with your public defender, all right?
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Stand by. All right, so we're on the record in docket 23011422. That is People of the State of Michigan versus Samantha Enright. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Erin Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Enright.
And ma'am, you are Samantha Enright?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can hear me all right, Miss Enright?
I can barely hear you.
All right. If you need to pull the microphone up to your ear to hear me, but as long as you can tell me if you don't understand something I say, okay?
I will.
All right. Mr. Brodowitz, this is the time set for pretrial in the matter. How are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, people have made an offer for the defendant to plead to the charge of domestic violence with 76948 if eligible. And with that, I would leave it to the defense.
Ms. Robinson?
And we'll set it for a final pretrial and jury trial, please.
Okay, we'll set for final pretrial and jury trial.
Final pretrial, June 6th at 8:30.
6 at 8:30.
And trial to follow on June 27th at 8.
June 27th at 8. All right, Ms. Enright, you're set for final pretrial on June 6th at 8:30. And that'll be live.
Okay.
And then jury trial set for June 27th at 8 o'clock. All right, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you have any questions, please keep in contact with your attorney, Ms. Robinson. Anything else for the record in docket 23011422, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Robinson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, Ms. Enright. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you. You too.
Ms. Sutter, are you ready to go on Ms. Hauser, Mr. Smith, or Mr. Parker?
All three of them.
All right. Were you going to do them by Zoom or were you going to join us?
I can walk in back into the courtroom if that's what you prefer, Your Honor.
It's up to you. I'm just, whatever you're comfortable with.
I can stay here because I have more folks to talk to on Zoom afterwards.
All right. Who did you want to do first?
We can do, I think Mr. Parker's been waiting the longest.
All right. All right, Mr. Parker. So we're on the record in docket 23-01111. That is people of the state of Michigan versus Asante Parker. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Parker, who joins us via Zoom.
And sir, you are Asante Parker?
Yes, sir.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Parker?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, as you stated, today's date and time set for pretrial. The people have made an offer that if Mr. Parker were to provide the license for the dog in question, I believe that dog is Coco, that the people would dismiss for compliance.
All right, Ms. Sutter, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have explained the offer to Mr. Parker. He no longer owns the dog, so he's going to get a letter from the person he gave the dog to provide to Mr. Brodowitz. We'd be asking for a 2-week adjournment in order for him to do that.
Okay, 2-week adjournment for compliance purposes. Any objection, Mr. Brodowitz?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. And we'll set it for closest date we have is June 6th at 9 a.m.
I have no objection to that, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Mr. Parker, keep in contact with Ms. Sutter, your attorney, in regards to providing any paperwork that she might need. And we've reset it for June 6th at 9 a.m. All right, Mr. Parker?
Yes, sir. Will I get a notification in the mail, a reminder?
Yeah, as long as you provide it with Ms. Sutter, she can provide it to the prosecutor.
Okay.
I think he's got a notice to appear for court, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Parker, you will get a notice to appear in the mail.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you.
you'll get I'm sorry, you will get a notice to appear. Zoom is fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else for the record? Docket 23-01111, Mr. Brodowitz.
Nothing from the people, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Sutter?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Parker, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
All right, thank you.
And then did you want to do Mr. Smith?
Yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Smith, we'll call your case to the record. It's docket 23-01381. That is the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey Smith. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Smith, who joins us via Zoom.
And sir, you are Jeffrey Smith, and you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes,
Okay, so you're Jeffrey Smith,
yes,
and you can hear me all right, Mr. Smith?
yes.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, as you stated, today's date and time set for pretrial. The people have made an offer in this matter for Mr. Smith to plea to the charge of domestic violence with 76948 if eligible.
And Ms. Sutter, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have expressed that offer to Mr. Smith. While he considers it, we would like to ask the court to schedule for a final pretrial.
All right. We'll set for final pretrial June 6th at 8:30. Again, jury trial on June 27 at 8. So we've reset this for final pretrial. The offer's been made on June 6th at 8:30. Jury trial, corresponding jury trial has been set for June 27th at 8 o'clock. Mr. Smith, if you have any questions, please keep in contact with your attorney, Lauren Sutter, okay?
Yes.
All right. That final pretrial is live, sir, all right?
That's the next court date is live?
Yeah. The final pretrial would be live on June 6th at 8:30.
All right, thank you.
All right. Anything else for the record? 23-01381, Mr. Brodowitz.
Nothing from the people, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Sutter?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record. You're free to leave the Zoom courtroom. Thank you, Mr. Smith. And then Miss Hauser.
Yes.
All right. So we're on the record in docket 23-01245. That is People of the State of Michigan versus Denise Hauser. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Ms. Hauser, who joins us via Zoom.
And ma'am, you are Denise Hauser, and you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I am Denise Hauser.
Oh, all right, and you can hear me all right, Ms. Hauser?
That is correct.
All right, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, I believe we have come to a plea in this matter, and that would be for the defendant to plea to a added count 2 of abandoning cruelty to one animal, and that is PAC code 750.504A. And that is that's a 93-day misdemeanor, $1,000 and up to 200 hours community service or any combination, with a killabrew to that agreement of fines and costs only. And that is on the understanding that the defendant has already surrendered the animals to the Humane Society.
All right, so it's abandonment of one animal, correct?
Yes.
So I'll restate that as my understanding. This is an added count 2 of abandonment of one animal pursuant to 750.504 parent A. It's a 90-day misdemeanor and or $1,000 with community service.
93 days.
93-day. Thank you. With community service. And there's a killabrew agreement to fines and costs.
With accepting of that, we would dismiss count. So it's on the record.
Is that your understanding, Ms. Sutter?
It is.
All right. Ms. Hauser, that's your understanding, is you'll be pleading guilty to the misdemeanor count 2, the amended count 2 in this file. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to have you. So I'm going to read you some misdemeanor rights you have in this case, and then I'll need for you to go to see the video briefly, just while I swear you in. But we'll worry about that. Let me walk you through some of the misdemeanor rights in this case. All right, ma'am?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you understand in this misdemeanor case, although there is a killabrew agreement, the potential, if I don't follow the killabrew agreement, would be 93 days and or $1,000 or community service. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there's a killabrew agreement to fines and costs. If I did not follow that killabrew agreement, of course, you could withdraw your plea. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In this misdemeanor case, you have the following rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. You have the right to have witnesses against you appear at trial. You have the right to question those witnesses against you. You, of course, are represented by Public Defender Lauren Sutter. She would be present to cross-examine or contest any charges or witnesses brought against you by the people in a trial. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have the court order any witnesses appear in your defense. You have the right to remain silent during the trial. You have the right not to have that silence used against you. And you have the right to testify at trial if you choose to testify. You have your pleas accepted to give up the claim that the plea was a result of any promises other than the killabrew agreement or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You're also giving up the right to any appeal from a trial because you won't be having a trial. You'll be pleading guilty today. Do you wish to waive your trial rights in this matter, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to have you go on camera just for a second and raise your right hand.
Okay.
There you go. Raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention back to January 3rd of 2023 at the offense location of Christian Road in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you a guardian, or were you a guardian to an animal, or were you present in the city of Lansing on January 3rd, 2023?
I was present.
All right. And at that time, did you fail to provide adequate care to one animal by abandoning them or without making provision for the animal's adequate care?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything towards a factual basis concerning count 2 of 750.504 parent A, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people. Your
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing from the defense.
All right. So I will follow the Killebrew agreement in this case and do fines and costs as to the count 2 admission. I find the factual basis to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. And I'll follow. So I do have, so we have $75 for the crime victims' rights fee and $50 to the state costs. Ms. Sutter, did you want to be heard on allocution concerning the fines and costs?
I did, Your Honor. Thank you. Ms. Hauser, this is a situation that resulted shortly after Ms. Hauser lost her husband, and that understandably has kind of shaken her world a bit. She is still trying to financially recover from that, and she is quite in a difficult position there. She does receive housing assistance, and she is on an incredibly limited income. She's working at a campground right now, which is good, stable employment for her, but pretty seasonal and is primarily her source of stability in her life. Given that, Your Honor, I would ask that the court keep in mind her financial situation and reduce any possible fines and costs for her. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brodowitz?
We would leave it to the court's discretion.
All right. Is there any restitution in the file?
No, there's not.
All right. I'm gonna set minimal fines and costs. It's $100 fine, $100 for costs. It's $200, adding the 125 required courts to CVR and 50 would be $325. And ma'am, do you need some time to make that payment?
Yes, I do, Your Honor, please.
Yeah, so I think with the amount of money, maybe 60 days out, Ms. Sutter?
That seems appropriate, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll set payment to be made to the city of Lansing by July 14th.
And
How
Ms.
that
Hauser,
works, ma'am, is that you can go to the city of Lansing and make any payment at any time. So you have your own installment plan, but it all has to be paid by July 14th, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record, Ms. Sutter?
Just, Ms. Hauser, I'll send you an email later today with some more information on how to make the payment. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hauser, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sutter.
You're welcome.
Did you need to meet with Mr. Turbin or Ms. Williams? Ms. Sutter?
Your Honor, I don't believe I'm assigned to Ms. Williams, but can I please speak with Mr. Turbin?
Sure. So we'll place Mr. Turbin and Ms. Sutter in a breakout room. Ms. Sutter, are you ready to go on Mr. Turbin?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 23-00721. That's people of the state of Michigan versus Dustin Turbin. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Turbin, who joins us via Zoom.
And sir, you are Dustin Turbin?
Yes, sir.
All right, just for the record, I do have an order for fingerprints. Mr. Turbin, at some point in time, you'll have to get before that, regardless of the resolution of the case, you have to get your fingerprints done for your file, okay, sir?
And Your Honor, if I may,
Sure.
he's tried a few times. The machine has been broken.
Okay, well, keep trying it, keep trying, all right?
I will.
All right, this time set for a pre-trial today. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor. After conversations with Ms. Sutter, I believe we originally adjourned this matter for 30 days for the defendant to go to the Secretary of State and get his license. He had, I believe, all of his fees paid. All he needed was the appointment. However, after conversations with Ms. Sutter, I believe he now needs a copy of his original birth certificate, which will take some time. But I guess I will leave it at that and let Ms. Sutter fill in any missing pieces.
All right, Ms. Sutter.
That's correct, Your Honor. Mr. Turbin did have an appointment with the Secretary of State where he went to go get his license. They advised he did need an original copy of his birth certificate. He does not currently have one of those, so he'd have to buy one. He called, they told him it's a 5 to 6 week wait for him to pick it up at the absolute earliest in person, which he has gone that route, but now it's a waiting game for Mr. Turbin of getting that before he can go back to the Secretary of State. So I understand that it's a little bit of a longer time period, but if the court is willing, we would request a 60-day adjournment to allow him to get that birth certificate and then go back to the Secretary of State.
Well, let's do this. Let's set it for 45 days and then see where we're at there. And if it's just 2 weeks from there that we're waiting, but that'll give us at least a control date for 45 days with the understanding that the plan is compliance in this matter, regardless. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll set it for 45 days out. June 27th at 9. Mr. Turbin, you can, of course, you can be present by Zoom. That's fine. What we'll do is set it for 45 days. We'll get a feel for the time period here. But we're probably looking at what the plan is to get you in compliance. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Sutter, anything else on the record?
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so it's set for June 27th at 9 o'clock. Please keep in contact with your attorney, Ms. Sutter, and anything else, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people.
All right, that's all for the record in that file. Thank you for your appearance today. Mr. Turbin, you're free to leave.
Thank you, sir.
And then, Your
And
Honor,
then I have you on Miss Williams, Miss Sutter, but
that's what I was
we
about to
had
say.
2 files on her.
Yes, I apologize, Your
Did
Honor.
you
When you said the name earlier, I heard a different first name than Darciella. Yes, she is my client, and I'm going to come into the courtroom and speak with Mr. Brodowitz briefly about that case.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
So dog stray fines and costs. Okay.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 23-00888. That's People of the State of Michigan versus Darciella Williams. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Brodowitz on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Williams, who joins us via Zoom.
Ma'am, you are Darciella Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Brodowitz, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I believe we have come to a plea in this matter, and that would be on count 2 of the ticket. I believe that's that would be docket, as you stated, the docket number 23-00888. There were 2 files on this ticket, and that would be to plead to an added count 2 of dog stray, which is PAC code 287.262B. And that is 3 months and or no, I believe it's no less than $10, but no more than 100. And there would also be with that a kilobrute of fines and costs only. And then just in a I guess, agreement or a stipulation that the dog remains secured.
And the dog remains what?
Secured.
Secured, okay. And there's no restitution on the file?
Not that has been submitted to our office, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sutter, I'm going to re-indicate that for the record just to make sure I've got it. So it is a ticket, so we'll amend the count to dog stray on the amended ticket. And that's pursuant to 287.62. I can't read my own writing. 624B.
Yes.
287.262B.
262B.
Yes.
262B. That's 3 months or $10 to $100.
Yes.
Kilobrute fines and costs, and the dog is to remain. Part of this is the dog is to remain secured. There's no restitution has been submitted. Is that your understanding, Ms. Sutter?
It is.
All right. And that's your understanding, Ms. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. This is a misdemeanor count, so this is a misdemeanor count. So I'm going to walk you through some of your misdemeanor rights in this case. All right, ma'am?
Thank you.
All right. You understand you have the right to be tried by a jury in this misdemeanor case, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have the witnesses against you appear at trial, to question the witnesses against you. You, of course, are represented by Public Defender Lauren Sutter. She would be present at trial to cross-examine any witnesses and contest any charges brought by the people against you. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
You have the right to have the court order any witnesses to appear in your defense. You have the right to remain silent during the trial. You have the right not to have that silence used against you. And you have the right to testify at trial if you choose to testify. If your plea is accepted today, you'll give up the claim that the plea was a result of any promises other than the Killebrew agreement or things that have been stated on the record, or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You'd also be giving up the right to appeal any issues that arose at trial. Since you wouldn't be having a trial, you'd be pleading guilty today. Is it your intent today to waive your rights to trial and plead guilty today?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to bring your attention back to, it would be the ticket, count 2 of the ticket, which is March 14th, 2023. Well, let's raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm going to bring your attention back to the city of Lansing, Sheridan, 400 block of Sheridan on March 14th, 2023. Were you responsible for or guardian for a dog by the name of Ruger on that date?
Yes.
And was Ruger astray on that date?
Yes.
Loose, at large, I would say. All right. Anything for the record in docket, anything concerning the factual basis, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
Thank you. All right, so I find that the factual basis to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made, and the plea is accepted. I will follow the Killebrew agreement to fines and costs. It'll be $75 for a crime victims' rights fee, $50 state fee, $75 for fine for, it says 3, so we'll just make it, $50 fine and 25 cost to break it down. It's for $200. Is that $200? $250. 75, 75, 150, 50 is 200. Is that right?
I think so, Your Honor. 125 plus 75, yeah.
So 250 is your total amount.
I think it's 200, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's 200. 200 is your total amount, fines and costs. Do you need some time to pay that to the city of Lansing, ma'am?
I can do that as soon as needed.
All right, so let's set it out a couple weeks and that'll give you some time. So today's the 16th. You'll have till May 30th.
Thank you.
May 30th at 4 to pay the $200 fine. Anything else for the record, Mr. Brodowitz, on 2300-888?
Nothing from the people.
Ms.
Your
Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, you have to make Ms. Sutter. Ms. Sutter will follow up with how to pay, but you have till May 30th at 4 o'clock to pay the $200 fine. Okay, ma'am?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's all for the record in that file. Now we can bring up Begley. 220129 and 22022977. That's People of the State of Michigan versus Brandy Bagley. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Jeff Roberts on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Begley, who is sitting to my right.
And ma'am, you are Brandy Bagley?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just for my records, I have a Brandy Lily Begley and a Brandy Ray Begley.
I am Brandy Ray Begley. Brandy Ray Lilly was my maiden name.
Okay. Thank you. All right, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Brodowitz, how we proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I believe we have come to agreements on both files. If we would, I guess we'll start with, let's see, what's the top one there? It'd be file 22-01295 SM. That is the assault and battery.
Okay.
The people have made an offer of a disorderly person jostling, an added count 2 of disorderly person jostling under 750.167 1L, which is a 90-day and or $500, with a Killebrew agreement to fines and costs only in this matter, as the defendant is going to be on a circuit court probation in the 30th Circuit for roughly the next 2 years.
And just to be clear, it's through Clinton County. We believe it's being transferred to 30th Circuit.
Okay, all right. So that's on 22-01295. My understanding is a plea to disorderly person, the misdemeanor set under 750.17167L. That's a 90-day and or $500 with a plea to count 2. Count 1 is to be dismissed.
Yes.
And that's your understanding, Ms. Sutter?
It is, Your Honor. Did I catch the Killebrew to fines and costs on that?
Yep, Killebrew fines and costs only.
Yes, that is my understanding.
All right, and then is there another offer on the second file?
Yes, Your Honor. On the second file, and I believe this offer was made.
That's 977?
Yes, Your Honor. And that would be to plead to an added count 2 of trespass under 750.52552, which is a 30-day and or $250, again, with a Killebrew to fines and costs due to the pending circuit court probation.
Fines and complete. Count 2 of trespass. So it's on the second file, 22-02977. It's a plea to the added count 2 of trespassing pursuant to 750.552. It's a 30-day misdemeanor and or $250, and there's a Killebrew agreement of fines and costs only. Is that correct?
Yes, with count 1 of retail fraud to be dismissed.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Begley, that's your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm gonna, these are 2 misdemeanors. I'm gonna go through your misdemeanor rights in this case, all right? And then we'll set a factual basis for each one, all right? So you understand in both of these misdemeanor pleas, there is a Killebrew agreement of fines and costs only. If I deviated from that Killebrew agreement, of course, you'd have the right to withdraw your plea. Do you understand that? All right. Yeah. So in these misdemeanor counts, you have the right to be tried by a jury. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to have prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty. You have the right to have the witnesses against you appear at trial. You have the right to question those witnesses against you. You, of course, are represented by Public Defender Lauren Sutter. She would be present at trial in both of these files to contest any charges or cross-examine any witnesses brought against you. Do you understand that, ma'am? You have the right to have the court order any witnesses appear in your defense. You have the right to remain silent during the trial. You have the right not to have that silence used against you. And you have the right to testify at trial if you choose to testify. If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim the plea was a result of any promises other than the stated Killebrew agreement to fines and costs only, or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You'd also be giving up the right to appeal any trial. Since you're not having a trial, you're pleading guilty today. Is it your intent to waive your rights to trial and to plead guilty today? Okay, I'm going to have you wave your right hand. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention back to the date of May 1st, 2022 at Copsey Corner, City of Lansing, Ingham County. on that date and time, were you in the city of Lansing on May 1st, 2022? And at that time, would you be considered a disorderly person under 750.167L? So
So if you think you're being disorderly on that day, you guilty of your guilty, you say yes.
Okay, so I guess yes.
yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean, I could take it for the charge of assault and battery, but it sounds like that encompasses disorderly person on some level. A threat to herself or others. So with that understanding, you were a disorderly person on that day, as you understand it.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions concerning the factual basis, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from people. Your
Ms.
Honor.
Sutter?
Nothing.
All right. And then in regards to docket 2202977. In count 2 on July 28, 2022, at the 6200 South Pennsylvania in the city of Lansing, were you at that Pennsylvania address in the city of Lansing on July 28, 2022? And were you trespassing on that day? All right. So with a plea to count 2, any questions concerning the factual basis on 2022-02-977, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people.
Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further.
All right, with that understanding, I find the factual basis on 22-01295 and 22-02977 to be understanding, voluntarily, and accurately made. I will abide by the Killebrew agreement for fines and costs only. So there's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state fee. This is 22-01295. Yeah, so state fee. And then on that case, we'll do $100 fine and $100 costs for $325 on 22-01295. On the trespassing, I'm going to waive fines and costs. And we'll just do the $75 crime victims' rights fee and the $50 state fee for $125, which would give us a grand total of $450. And you obviously want some time to pay that, I would think.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I lost my job when I turned myself in January.
Right,
so-
and then she's on probation.
Yes, she's also, her release date is June 14th from Clinton
Okay.
County, and then 2 years after that. So she'll need some time to get released and then get a new
Then-
job.
So what are you thinking?
60 to 90 days. Your Honor.
Okay. So I think that's more than reasonable
Yeah, I
given the
can get my
circumstances.
taxes done right away when I get out and.
So
kinda pay quickly.
let's do August 14th. So the $325 should be paid to the city of Lansing by August 14th.
Is that just up here on this? It's right here at the window?
It is. It's
Okay.
right here on the 6th floor. And then the $125 also on August 14th. And how that works is you can come up and make any payment you want on any of that.
Okay.
Once you've gotten out and acclimated yourself. So you can set up your own plan just by coming up, as long as it's all paid by August 14th, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, anything else for the record on docket 22-0125, 1295, or 22-02977, Mr. Brodowitz?
Nothing from the people. Your
Ms.
Honor.
Sutter, anything else?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Beckley, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Thanks.
So this is just. Before 50.
And I saved the parents' day. I put it on your bag.
I am.
And then it goes into
I was just looking at.
Right. Well, you look at me, I was like, my back room was very strange. I know your name.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I punched you back.
Oh, boy.
I was like, of course you know. I know.
So if you know, if you're contributing from my room, I'm here.
Yeah, call this number now, and we'll work with you as you contact them before you miss a payment. Okay. So we need a little, and we'll work with you.
Okay, thank
Good
you so
luck to
much.
you.
Thanks. Guys, have a great afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 22-02022. That is Theophilus Abosi versus Keith Byram. Time set for discovery hearing, and I'll indicate for the record, we did a formal hearing on this on December 27th. There was a subpoena to follow up on the judgment of $2,000 cash that was ordered for a motor vehicle debt. Oh, are we on or not? Okay. I should have thought about that. And so this was set for discovery on the matter at 8:30. It is now 11 o'clock. Neither party has appeared. And I don't know that there was actually service to the defendant. But the plaintiff didn't show up on their own motion, so the case is dismissed at this time. Only the discovery request, not the underlying order.
So. Yeah.
The discovery request is dismissed,
Yeah.
not the underlying order, just so there's no confusion there. That's all for the record on that file.
All right, we can pop this out then.